How do you delegate chores, and how do you know which chores to delegate to a house cleaner? That's a great question, and we're going to talk about that today. Hi there, I'm Angela Brown, and this is Ask a House Cleaner. This is a show where you get to ask a house cleaning question, and I get to help you find an answer. Now, today's show is brought to us by housecleaning360.com, which is a 360 view of the perfect home. And it's a resource hub that partners house cleaners with homeowners. Boom! All right, so if you are a house cleaner, run on over there and set up your business, because it's also a business fan page. And once you find somebody that loves the service you provide, they can go back there and rate and review your service. And that way you can build your network of referrals right there on housecleaning360.com, because we're sending all of our friends and all of our family and all of our people in our network over to housecleaning360.com to find you. All right, on to today's show, which is from a homeowner who wants to know, how do I delegate the responsibilities, and how do I know which responsibilities to delegate to get the most for my money when I'm hiring a house cleaner? All right, that is a great question. And the answer to that question is it depends on what you need. Now, I have worked for lots of different customers who had specific needs. Let's say, for example, that they worked out of their house. And so because they worked out of their house, there were certain days of the week that they had conference calls. And so they either needed things prepared for those conference calls, or they were having guests over, or they were having employee meetings that they needed specific things for. So that would mean I need the bathrooms tidied up. I need some food trays prepared. I need the kitchen cleaned. There were specific things that a regular maintenance service does not provide. Do you have regular maintenance service? And if you do, then any franchised house cleaning company in the country or any independent house cleaner can probably help you. They just come in and do their regular routine and leave. But if you have a specific set of requirements, or you have a specific set of chores, and with the house cleaning business, there are a lot of independents that do a variety of different tasks, and they also upsell their services. So what you might consider doing is, how many of your chores are you not good at? And the chores don't necessarily have to be just house cleaning. I suggest that you sit down and you take a big inventory of what are you doing on a daily basis. Does that include laundry? Is that grocery shopping? Do you have a post office box where you have to go pick up your mail? Do you have dry cleaning that you have to pick up? Do you have groceries delivered, or do you go do the grocery shopping yourself? Do you have house cleaning that you have to do? Do you have landscaping? Is there something special that your landscaping needs, like fertilizer or weeding your garden? Are there different chores or tasks that maybe you once did that now you would like to outsource? It really comes down to how much time do you have in the course of a day, and how much are you willing to outsource? So what you have to decide is, how much is your time worth? And if your time is worth, let's just make something up, let's say $50 an hour. If your time is worth $50 an hour and you are trying to get more stuff done, or you're trying to fit in more billable hours to your client, then what you may want to do is hire a service that for $30 an hour can come in and take off some of those tasks off your plate, which frees you up then to do the higher volume tasks and the higher value tasks for your business. So it's a really great way to stop and just take a look and say, hey, I'm no good at cleaning my own shower. Let's put the bathroom on that to-do list. I'm no good at doing my own grocery shopping because it's not a good or the best use of my time. Put that on your list. And you can just draw a line down the page and say, is this for me? Is this for someone that I could hire? And delegate as many of those things. Once you've put those in a delegate task list, then you can start finding people that will match those requirements. Now, one of the most beautiful things that has happened in the last few years with the advent of the internet and people doing business all across the world is that you can hire a virtual assistant to do a lot of the things for you. There are tasks even in my business, from a marketing or a social media or a graphic design or a web design or transcription service or whatever, that instead of me physically doing those things, I can outsource those things to someone else that frees me up to do the higher value or the higher volume tasks. So my recommendation is, don't just think of it in terms of house cleaning, but think of it in terms all across the board. Where can you free up the most amount of your time? And if they're little tasks, even if they're small tasks, because there are companies that specialize in one area. For example, I have a transcription service that I hire. They don't do all of my business work. They only do transcriptions. That's all they do. And I hire them just to do the transcriptions that become the closed captioning for these videos. That's all they do. And so I just outsource that one little task to them. I have other little tasks that I outsource to other people, and they specialize in that one little task. So if there are house cleaners in your area that specialize in cleaning bathrooms, maybe they don't do the whole house. Maybe they don't do organization. Maybe they don't go through your refrigerator and pull out all of the outdated food and the outdated food from your pantry. Maybe they don't do that stuff. Maybe they just make your bathrooms shine. I would outsource that task to them. I would let them do what they do best. Once you have decided what chores you can outsource, that will help you determine who you're going to hire. Because if what you need is just general maintenance cleaning and you're not specific about it, any company will do. But the more specific you are, the more specific of companies you can hire that specialize in that one area. And that's where your biggest savings is going to come from. Instead of having people come in that just do the whole wide variety of things and they don't do any of it very well, you can outsource it to people that specialize, that are specific and have their pricing honed and they have their skills honed, and you get the best work for the least amount of money. But that's going to give you the most amount for your money. Anyway, that's my 2 cents for today, and until we meet again, leave the world a cleaner place than when you found it.